Petras and his family. My first observation, Mr. Chairman, is on the suggestion that we redefine when is a barangay electrified. Because during your predecessor's time, as already mentioned, one light bulb would mean the barangay is electrified. So now, as correctly observed by the previous interpellators, the puroks, there are other puroks. So now, the last electrification level report was almost 100%, 99 point something in the last budget hearing. But if we redefine this, I think it will go down to 10%. Maybe at best 10%. Because if we go by a light bulb in one barangay, if there are so many puroks in one barangay, then we'll have to go down. What do you think of that, Mr. Secretary?
Your Honor, the estimates is we will go down to about 60% because the main urban centers already are heavily electrified. So from the 99%, if we measure at the CTO, it will go down to somewhere there. Now, that should not be too far off from households, except because Your Honor, please indulge. I will explain also that in addition to the grid electrification, we have in our budget now 75 million for the non-grid electrification. And these are household electrification, meaning solar panels in houses providing electricity to individual houses. Because we want to attack the electrification question from all fronts, Your Honor. There are houses that are not reachable by the grid. They are too far away. They are so remote that it is impractical to lay electric wires going to them. So these are not considered as part of the denominator in calculating whether it's 99 or 60%. But categorically, these are still citizens of the Republic which need electricity. So we're also launching that non-grid initiative, Your Honor.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you mentioned solar. I'm looking at your page 10, measurable targets for renewable energy. Then solar here, 2010, 6.74, 2015, 11.75 megawatts. That is correct. This is not 1,000, but 11.75. Because if this is the figure, I'm afraid we're still at the Reyes level figure. Because in the last budget hearing, I confronted him because his projection was only about 4 to 6 megawatts of solar power. So you have not improved on the Reyes figure, Mr. Secretary.
Your Honor, the technology on solar is still very expensive. The best is at $3 per kilowatt. So it's not the... While we acknowledge that we should make inroads into renewable energy, we also need to manage the amount of megawatts that go into the grid using solar, because this will all hit us in the universal charge for the feed-in tariff, Your Honor. So that's why we're not as aggressive on that. That increase, Your Honor, is really for the non-grid areas that we are trying to reach. A lot of the areas which we have no other choice, they're too far, they're too remote, they're too dispersed, Your Honor, to put even a genset for X number of houses. That the only solution is solar, which is why even at the cost of $3 per panel, per $3 per kilowatt, we need to do that. Actually, the estimates, Your Honor, is about 32,000 per household to put one solar panel, to put a battery storage mechanism, which will allow roughly 50 kilowatts of power, which will be good, assuming you will use the LED lights, will be good for 3-4 bulbs and allow you to recharge your cell phone on times during the day when you're not using the light. So This is a model, Your Honor, that we are testing, has been implemented. We want to improve on it to reach those areas which really are unreachable using the grid, Your Honor. So that adds up to that 11 megawatt that is there, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, may I know from the Secretary what is the ballpark figure per megawatt, the first cost, the installation cost for per megawatt for a coal-fired power plant?
For coal-fired, Your Honor, it will vary from $1.5 million to $2 million per megawatt.
1.5. I understand, Mr. Secretary, that if you're talking of not the solar panel for a home, but the bigger ones, maybe 4 to 5 megawatts, several modules of solar panel, there are firm offers of about 3,500, maybe at most $4 million per megawatt. But of course, they're not going to charge this. They're willing to finance this, provided that it is connected to the grid and they have a power purchase agreement with the grid. There are firm offers here in the Philippines. Is the Secretary aware of this?
Yes, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, with the cooperation of the Energy Regulatory Commission, we hope to finalize. We will be submitting our inputs to the feed-in tariff sometime in November, Your Honor. The deadline set by ERC. After which they will eventually set the right price. Once that feed-in tariff is set, Your Honor, that will now open the possibilities for these proponents of the project to come in and say, we are going to build 10 megawatts of solar energy, and the feed-in tariff will be determined by ERC, will determine how much they will be able to sell that to the grid. We accept the fact that that price will not be the 280 for hydro, 485 or 520 for coal-fired, or I mean the 480 for geothermal, 525 for coal-fired, Your Honor. It will be higher. It will be a lot higher, so that's the one that will make them viable, Your Honor.
Yes, that's true. I understand here, for example, in the House of Representatives, it is about 16 hectares here, with a lot of roof here, a lot of parking area. I have an expert help me make an estimate that we can put up a system of solar panels here that can generate as much as 4, maybe 5 megawatts in this area and connect it to the grid. There are many areas all over the Philippines, for example, schools,